welcome back one and all to the good ship Cruise First TV with Derek for another show full of tempting offers from our team. Now we're getting away with Royal Caribbean in this show, the cruise ships that are full of fun, activities, dining, incredible entertainment and so much more. So we have got a late deal to get you away to celebrate New Year in Singapore with a Far East cruise. We've got the chance to disappear down under to Australia and the gorgeous South Pacific for March in 2026, and something sooner too, heading off in February to Singapore to enjoy cruising Thailand, Bali and Indonesia on Anthem of the Seas on a back-to-back cruise wonder. Right then, let's start the party for this show in Singapore. And when they see in the new year there, they do it in style with one heck of a party. So let's join it as we fly you to start your 2-week getaway on the 30th of December this year, New Year's Eve. And when we arrive in Singapore, we've got 2 nights in a hotel for you to celebrate the dawn of 2025. You looking forward to the new year, everyone? Oh, such enthusiasm I can hear right there. But you know what? It would be nice to do it on the other side of the world. And they do it, I think they do it 8 or 10 hours before we do it. It's quite a few hours before it happens here in the UK. But it's always a big party, massive firework displays, music festivals. You can enjoy it from rooftop bars, down in the quays, on the harbour side. Absolutely incredible. And then you've got about a day to recover before you start your cruise on Anthem of the Seas, and of course that is going to be spectacular and very relaxing as well. Lots to do in Singapore. If you want longer there, just let us know. We'll arrange it with the team. Here she is, the gorgeous Anthem of the Seas. If you haven't yet been on board, she is spectacular. Oh my word, it is coming up to 10 years ago that I was on board when Anthem first launched, and I just know, and I've said this many times, if I was to step on board tomorrow, it would feel as brand new, as sparkling and as exciting as the day that I stepped on board in 2015. Because she's that kind of ship that was so kind of ahead of her time there, that you would still find it very entertaining right now. Now listen, if it's just you as a couple and you just want to have a really good cruise, lots to do, plenty of pool decks to enjoy, you know, being out on the sun, or in the sun should I say, if you love great restaurants, there's such a massive array of dining. She's a beautiful ship. She is a bigger ship, but don't worry about that at all, because you never get that sense of crowding as well. And I think, if I can remember rightly, when I was on board, it was a pretty busy cruise actually. They've got these lovely artworks and kinetic sculptures as you move from one area to another. Those screens really do elicit a kind of atmosphere as you walk through. It's a real pleasure. The whole thing's a great pleasure. Now, of course, they've got these wayfinders around, but these days you've got the apps as well, so you can see what's going on the ship. Of course, you get delivered to your stateroom every day what's about to happen tomorrow. So all the big deals that are happening, where you're going, time the restaurants are open, you know, time the North Star is open and the iFly and the Ripcord and all of those other things. So you know what, you can be as to the clock or as off the clock as you like on one of these cruises, because every turn you take there's another big choice somewhere for you to enjoy. It is lovely being out on deck. It is lovely. This is the Ripcord by iFly, and I did it, and I didn't think I was going to do it actually, and because we were filming it I ended up doing it longer than you would normally do it, which was really exhilarating and exciting. Now, I've done a skydive, well, not a skydive, but a parachute jump before, but the feeling of this and the freedom of it as well was just brilliant. That wasn't me, by the way. That was one of the instructors. They're so talented. They really are. And they'll take the time to show you everything. This I really enjoyed, with both feet firmly on the ground. Roller discos, just the absolutely brilliant thing to do, because it kind of really takes you back. And dodgem cars these days, with health and safety and all of that. Normally, you're not allowed to bump these days, are you? It's like a rule, no bumping. I'm like, that's no good. You can in the Seaplex, which is really good fun. You can escape it all in the solarium. I really love being there as well, because it's just a nice quiet little paradise with the big swing in the middle, so you can get a good view of what's going on out to sea. It's fabulous. The whole ship is just brilliant. You'll have a great time. And remember, we're going to maybe unfamiliar parts of the world here. So coming back to that familiarity and so many things to do on board is just brilliant. So we've got 10 nights on Anthem out of Singapore. First port after a day at sea is the port for Bangkok. You've got 2 full days here, so you have an overnight. So you can also see Bangkok by day and how it changes by night as well. Going to be brilliant. Tropical, of course, world's best city in many travel awards, so lots of adventures there. A day at sea, and then we move on to Ho Chi Minh City, or the port for that. So take a tour into the city. Royal Caribbean will have oodles of tours there for you. There's Vin Wonders Amusement Park, which looks good there, and a lovely cable car too. Next we go into Chiang Mai, which is again in Vietnam. This is the port for Hue and Da Nang. So head into the Dong Bar market there, which is a big major attraction. There's the Citadel surrounded by the moat and the big thick stone walls, and the Imperial City as well. And then we carry on enjoying the wonders of Vietnam. The Forbidden Purple City, for instance, in this part of Vietnam is brilliant. It was once an emperor's home there, and there's a lovely replica of the Royal Theatre there. And then we arrive into Singapore, and that is where we depart, and then we fly back to the UK. So we're making our way through Thailand and Vietnam. There's some fabulous ports for you to enjoy. And again, you don't have to have done your homework in terms of all of these places. I say this all the time when you go into a place that maybe is brand new and you're not familiar with it. Don't worry, there's plenty of information on the ship. Of course, you can book up and look at your excursion opportunities. There's a full team on board that can help you with that. But this, for me, is brilliant because it starts with the big New Year's Eve party. Remember, we're flying you out to Singapore on New Year's Eve, so you can enjoy 2 nights in a hotel there to see in the new year, enjoy the festival that is the grand New Year celebration. And then you've got the 10 nights of cruising on Anthem of the Seas around Thailand and Vietnam, with the bonus overnight in Bangkok, which is brilliant. And of course, we'll include the flight back to the UK. It's an exclusive package for you from us here at Cruise1st. And I have to say, considering it's just around the corner, the price tag we have got for you here is pretty darn good. 2,399. If you want to top it off in style, by the way, if on this particular offer you book an ocean view, we'll upgrade you to the fresh air and the doors of the balcony, which will be even more amazing. Great way to start off 2025 and give it a real big smile. Let's go and look at the price for that then, shall we? To upgrade to balcony, you only need to upgrade once at just $299. And given that it's a 10-night cruise, that's a pretty big deal actually, because you know usually there is quite a jump up, isn't there, in the upgrade prices from going from ocean view up to balcony. And you know why that is, because the staterooms are bigger. There is more on offer, of course, with the balcony. You've got the extra space outside, which is wonderful because, you know, it is quite nice first thing in the morning to just get out there, open the curtains, and then open the balcony doors and say good morning to the world. Make sure you got some clothes on just in case you're facing the port and you've just arrived in port. But it is lovely as you're cruising around. So sometimes it's nice last thing at night, or, you know, as you're getting ready in the evening, because, you know, sometimes you get a bit hot and bothered in the evening when you're getting ready. Shall I wear this? Shall I wear that? And you've made so many changes of decision that you're like, I'm hot and bothered. You can just step out onto the balcony and just breathe some air and say, oh, actually, it doesn't matter. I'm on holiday. Just have a great time. Listen, call us right now. Remember, this is for this New Year's Eve, which is brilliant. So you can enjoy the new year in Singapore this year as we say goodbye to 2024 and hello to 2025, which we know is going to be a better year, right? Everyone agree? Gotta be, isn't it? 0800 953 4700. Call our team, remember, 7 days a week. Right, we're cruising with Royal Caribbean, and our next offer is early booking. This one, really early booking, because we're looking forward to March in 2026, and a dream destination that lots of people have on their to-do list in terms of holidays. The chance to go down under to Australia and enjoy average temperatures at the time of year you're going in the mid-20s. Oh, the mid-20s. We could only dream of the mid-20s. It sounds lovely, doesn't it? Well, our 19-night trip down under to sail Australia and the South Pacific starts by flying you off to Brisbane, which is the capital of Queensland in Oz, for a 2-night hotel stay. Lots to do in Brisbane, actually. It's very, very trendy. Of course, it being right next to the sea as well. You can head down to the South Bank Parkland, which is on the Brisbane River. Lush parks there and an inner city beach. Of course, they've got plenty of beaches for real there. You can hop on the wheel of Brisbane, which is the big wheel there, which is 60 metres high, and get some great views over the city itself. And if you're looking for a romantic night out, head to River Quay, which has beautiful dining just by the riverside. Of course, there'll be lots of other attractions and museums. Maybe you want a bit of car hire to have a little bit of a drive around. We'll talk to the team. We can make that happen too. And then after your 2 nights in Brisbane, 15 nights of cruising. And this is all about the destinations, this cruise. It's going to be fantastic because it's such a comprehensive way of seeing Australia and sailing out to the South Pacific, to some of the most beautiful, beautiful places. And we're doing it all on Voyager of the Seas. Now, by today's cruising standards, she's kind of a mid-range ship, but she's got, as you can see, a lot of the essential Royal Caribbean thrills and spills. You saw the flow rider there. It's got an ice rink, and they do shows in the ice rink, and you can skate there too. You just saw one of the parades there through the Royal Promenade. And they are brilliant, the Royal Caribbean parades. They're really, really clever, and characters just appear from everywhere. Lots of venues to enjoy live music and entertainment, and sometimes that can be the party up on deck. Sometimes it's the main production show. As we said before, in the ice rink they do production shows there, and it is incredible to watch a show on ice. Because you think about it, if you know, you may have tried to ice skate many, many times over the years. It's not easy to do, is it? So imagine trying to do a full routine, you know, and do a show on ice. The talent there is incredible, and the talented team on board are so, so friendly. As I say, this is all about the destinations we are going to, but you're doing it in style with Royal Caribbean. So we're sailing out of Brisbane. We've got 15 nights ahead of us, 2 days at sea into Noumea, which is in New Caledonia out in the South Pacific. Ons Vata is the wonderful white sand beach here. There's the Amity Lighthouse, and lots more for you to enjoy before we journey on to Mystery Island, which is formerly used as an Allied Forces landing strip during World War II, so it's got a very rich history. Now it's just palm trees and wonderful white sand beaches for you to enjoy for the day, which is wonderful. We're heading to Vanuatu now, to Port Vilar, very laid back and relaxed here as well. You can head to a place where there's an underwater mailbox in Hideaway Island. You can also go to the Blue Lagoon here, or just wander the waterfront. Beautiful. 2 days at sea, we are back into Brisbane for an extra day because we're doing a back-to-back cruise here. So this is where we're going to be starting our second cruise. You could head into the Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary while you're back in Brisbane for the day, or you can head to the Palazzo Versace or the Surfers Paradise before we cruise on to an overnight in Airlie Beach. Now, this is the port for the Great Barrier Reef and the Whitsunday Islands, so there'll be lots and lots of tours for you to enjoy. The Barrier Reef is massive, by the way. I think it's something like 200 kilometres worth of wonderful corals there. Then we move on to Cairns, lush jungles, coral seas, big popular holiday destination for Aussies here. You can go to a crocodile farm here as well if you fancy it. Again, more tours to the reef if you can't get enough of that, before we cruise by the most beautiful Willis Island, which is uninhabited apart from a couple of people who work on the weather station here. The rest of the inhabitants are blue-footed boobies, the birds that you see all over this island. It's only tiny, but it's so, so beautiful. A day at sea, we come back into Brisbane. This time, I'm afraid, we have to leave Voyager of the Seas and fly back to the UK, but after having the most incredible time down under. And there is no other way in Australia of covering all of the different places that you are going to without constantly packing, unpacking, repacking, planes, trains and automobiles, and it would take you a lot longer than 19 nights to be able to do it. So if you've always hankered for getting down to Australia, but you want to see more than just one or two places, and going out into the South Pacific is like going out into pure paradise as well. So you'll really love this. We are early booking now for March in 2026. So we'll put a low deposit in place on this one. Just £399 each today to pay. Includes the flights to and from Brisbane in Australia, a 2-night hotel stay there before you cruise, and then 15 nights full board, remember, on Voyager of the Seas around Oz and the South Pacific, with your overnight at Airlie Beach, which is brilliant for your excursions out to the Great Barrier Reef. Oh my word, again, we've done it. We've done it in style. Always and still now. Listen, I've talked a lot about travel to and from Australia. We also record shows for our sister brand, which is based in Australia. So I see the prices in reverse when the Aussies come over to us as well. And it always amazes me how we manage to get this kind of price tag and yet squeeze so much into it. You know, the flights, the stay in Brisbane, and a 15-night cruise on this one as well. All of that at $2,899 per person. Oh, we've got to show them, Mr. P, haven't we? You're so close to an ocean view here as well. The upgrade is like that big. Let's go and have a little look. It's just £99 more to go to ocean view on this one. That's ridiculous. You should never miss out on that opportunity. It's phenomenal. I mean, if you're going all the way to Oz, you want to see as much of it as you possibly can, don't you? So an extra £99 would get you up to ocean view on that one. You've got your balcony price on there as well, and your suite price. And look, I have to say, look at your solo price on screen there as well. In the middle of the screen there, you can cruise solo on this one from just $3,999, which is fantastic value for money, because you know, usually when it comes to a cruise, you know, that price for a solo can normally double the cost of the entire thing, which is amazing. So take advantage of that while you can. And we are, just to let you know as well, because I get lots and lots of requests for solo shows and specials as well. So we are working on those, and we'll try and show you as many solo prices as we can along the way. If you've got any ideas for shows as well, we always love to hear from you. The email address is studio@cruise1st.tv, as if by magic it appears. So drop us a line if you've got any ideas for shows, or you just want to say hello. Right, let's carry on with Royal Caribbean. Our final exclusive offer in this show is one that's coming up remarkably soon, like February. That's nearly here already. 17 nights this time, and we'll be cruising the Far East on Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas. We'll be leaving on the 16th of February, just after Valentine's, and flying off to Singapore first for a 2-night hotel stay. What a wonderful, wonderful place. We talk about Singapore a heck of a lot here on the show. And it's nice finding out different things about Singapore. You can do wonderful river cruises while you're out and spending your time in Singapore. Actually, touring by bike is a great way of seeing these kind of cities as well. It's quite nice sometimes to just jump on a bike and just, you know, kind of have that freedom. There's lots more you can do while you're in the city as well. Of course, you must go to the Raffles Hotel. I'm afraid it is the law while you're there. Go and have a Singapore sling. You have the little monkey nuts there, and you just throw the shells on the floor, which feels very untidy and very naughty, but very lovely. What an authentic experience. You'll have lots of videos and photos to bring back from that. There's also a night safari you can do at the zoo. Then it's cruise time, and we're doing another back-to-back cruise on this one over 13 nights on Anthem of the Seas. Now, if you are a foodie, you will love Anthem of the Seas, because she's got masses of choices, and while I was on board I tried to try as many as I possibly could. I love the fact that Jamie's Italian is on board, because it's brilliant. It's just, it feels like free and easy. It feels like it dovetails beautifully with the kind of experience that you're having with Royal Caribbean. You saw Johnny Rockets there as well. Johnny Rockets is a great little experience, you know. It's a nice little sort of burger diner that's on board the ship. And it's great. It's a bit of an experience. It's a completely different atmosphere. You're seeing some of the main dining restaurants here. You can see there's lots and lots of windows, so great views outside. If you want to disappear into the pub, it's there on board as well. So quite aside all of the, you know, thrills and spills and experiences that you can have on board Anthem, there are plenty of places to just sit back, relax, be zen. You can take anybody of any age on board this ship. They'll all have a great time. As you can see, myself and cameraman Matt were having a good old game of table tennis there. It was a short game of table tennis, let me tell you, because I am absolutely dreadful. You won't be seeing me in the Olympics anytime soon, let me tell you. But if you've got like teens with you or people that are really into gaming, they've got all the games consoles there. And if you want to do experiences like the roller disco and the silent disco and all those kind of things, they're happening on board. Yes, there is shopping and plenty of it. Lovely boutiques. And remember, it's tax and duty free, the shopping on board. So you might be a little bit more inclined when you're on holiday to search for something new. It's always quite a nice thing if you are going on a far-flung special holiday. It's quite nice to mark that in some way, I believe, with brand new diamonds or pearls or whatever it might be. The music hall that you're seeing right now, brilliant live music venue, and you can be on the top level of that looking down, and it just feels like you've gone to one of those gigs that you've been planning for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's a really nice experience. And in terms of their entertainment on board, of course, they invest so many millions of dollars in their entertainment offering. The 270 lounge that you see here is so clever, because that's a more immersive kind of cruise experience for entertainment. Really different show. And it feels like something you'd pay hundreds of extra dollars to be part of, and you don't whatsoever. It's all part of the fare with Royal Caribbean. The casino's there, of course, if you fancy a little wander through. The Bionic Bar is really clever because it draws a nice crowd, and it is very clever. Inventing your own cocktail or getting one of the classics, you'll find people stood there for hours and hours and hours just watching the spectacle of the Bionic Bar. It's really good. So we forget we're going places here as well. Out of Singapore for 13 nights to Penang, first in Malaysia. Penang Island is beautiful here, of course. The Kek Lok Sea Temple is the big draw in this part of the world. There's a lovely Entopia butterfly farm there as well. Next, we're off to Phuket. Excuse me, in Thailand, and we've got an overnight here, so 2 full days. Wonderful mix of experiences, long beautiful beaches, but very lush jungles there to explore as well. There are markets, live theatre shows, theme parks, traditional museums, so plenty to see out those 2 days. Day at sea, we're back into Singapore, because we're doing a back-to-back cruise, so we're about to start the second one. Maybe this is the day that you wander into Orchard Road and do some of those big name shopping experiences in the centre of Singapore before we cruise on after a couple of days at sea. We're in Selakan Bawang in Indonesia. Now, this is a real pure paradise. This is in Bali. The Ubud Monkey Forest, absolutely phenomenal to go to. What an experience. And then we cruise on to Benoit in Bali. You can check out the local arts and crafts here. You've got the Monkey Forest. You could go for a second time if you loved it the first time. And you've got lots of wonderful temples and viewpoints too. On to Lombok in Indonesia. Head to Matara here and visit the wonderful temples, or visit the Mayura Water Palace, which is something quite spectacular too. Lots of laid-back resorts that you can spend some time here before 2 days at sea, arriving in Singapore. And alas, unfortunately, that's where the holiday ends. Unfortunately, that's where we have to fly back to the UK. But of course, the great thing about ending a holiday is having just enjoyed it, and the prospect of coming back and booking the next one. Maybe you'd like to book 2 or 3 holidays in a row. This is a really nice mix on this holiday, and the balance. You'll love the price tag as well. So this is coming up soon. If you have endured the whole of this year and thought, I just need a break, I need something, I need a light at the end of the tunnel, I need something booked that I know I can look forward to. And maybe you're bringing forward plans here. Maybe you've been planning to go to the Far East and thought, actually, you know what, let's leave it for 3 years or 5 years and take a good run up to it. And maybe you've thought to yourself recently, something's changed your mind and you've thought, no, I'm ready to go today. So in February, you can go. Wonderful Far East getaway. We fly you out to Singapore, of course, for your 2-night hotel stay there. Then you've got your 13 nights on Anthem of the Seas, the back-to-back cruise, cruising Thailand with your overnight in Bangkok, an extra day in Singapore, a second cruise to Bali and Lombok in Indonesia, before we then fly you back to the UK. Oh my word, this is a late deal. This will turn your head. If you were sitting on the fence as a maybe, that, I think, will turn you into a, that's good, that's really good, we should really get on this. This is another offer as well, by the way, that if you book the ocean view, we'll upgrade you to a balcony, which would be pretty exciting as well for a cruise like this, wouldn't it? Let's go and have a look at the price for that then, to upgrade up to balcony. You can do that in just one upgrade, which is, again, testament to our amazing team and what we can do with Royal Caribbean. It's marvellous, and it's coming up in February, 17 nights. So the best part of what? 2.5 weeks, isn't it? Very nice. Do you think you can get this in the diary? Have you got any plans in the diary already for 2025? We're nearly there, you know. Something dawned on me. Somebody said to me the other day, do you know, when we arrive into 2025, it'll be 25 years since the millennium. How frightening is that? And that also means that it would be 50 years to 1975. That's even more frightening, isn't it? That's just going in blocks of 25. But when it dawns upon you, you're kind of like, oh my word. This is why, you see, you should never leave your cruising until tomorrow or 5 years' time or 10 years' time, because you know, once you've turned 21, every year just flies by like that, doesn't it? Listen, if you haven't cruised yet, here's just a small taste of what you're missing out on.
When you choose to cruise, you'll experience one of the best value holidays with so much included as standard. Your floating resort will take you to multiple destinations in one trip, where you'll wake up to a new view every day and only have to unpack once. Your ensuite accommodation will have everything you need to feel right at home, with a daily servicing provided by your personal cabin steward. Around the ship, you'll have the opportunity to take part in various activities, which can include quizzes, dance classes, game shows, movie screenings, lectures, and much more. If that sounds too much, then feel free to relax, unwind, and watch the world go by in a solarium, or around one of the pools, or even in a hot tub. If you're cruising as a family, then the little ones will be well taken care of, with a range of kids clubs available for all ages from morning till late. Plus, no matter what the age, everyone can have a thrilling time with rock climbing walls, zip lines, water parks, skating, simulators, and even bumper cars. When it comes to food, you'll never go hungry on a cruise, with options available right around the clock. Enjoy fine dining with waiter service in one of the main restaurants, or opt for something more casual in the self-service buffet. There's always snacks and room service available too. And as the sun goes down, that's when the ship really comes to life. Every evening, you'll be spoilt for choice when it comes to entertainment. From Broadway-style shows in the lavish theatre to live music, comedy, karaoke, and silent discos, as well as onboard nightclubs, allowing you to dance the night away. So if you want more holiday for less money, make sure you choose to cruise.
Well, you know, that's why people are doing it. That's why people are doing it. And you know what? If somebody else needs to see this show, someone that hasn't yet tried a cruise, just to give them a little flavour, you know, because a lot of people have an idea in their mind of, you know, what a cruise will be. And our show really kind of shows you in words and pictures how it actually is. Remember, you can watch our shows 24 hours a day on our website, Cruise1st.tv. and on our YouTube channel as well. So you don't need Sky to come and watch us. We're on Freeview as well in the afternoons on channel 89 between 1 and 4. Anyway, see you back here soon. Take care.